okay, Mariner might not have seen it, but what is Kevin Friend, the VAR ref, seeing? That second handball was a stonewall penalty, and even Jim Beglin, who was on my feed, said, I give up. What is a pen? Your thoughts, George?
Oh, it was as stonewall as a stone wall can be. And that it's not given, and it's not even referred to the Mariner to have a look at the screen.
Exactly. What's the point of the
absolute fucking madness?
What's the point of the on-field monitor?
You can understand people being totally frustrated and saying we were robbed, because we were.
Yes.
You know, and it's true, in tight games these decisions matter. You know.
They used to matter, in Wenger's time too.
Yeah, of course they did. But they didn't counter it. It was just an excuse when we were saying it, that Wenger didn't get the decisions, but now it's per Mikel. And you do have to have sympathy with Arteta. You know, he's doing his best, and they're doing the worst. It's whether I like him or not, you don't want to see the fucking team cheated.
No, of course not.
So you can have a go at Arteta.
Exactly.
Because we're in danger of doing that, Shotta. All of us. You see it today with Xhaka being the scapegoat, and everybody piling onto him. Now, I don't want to fall into that group where Arteta's my scapegoat, and I blame him for everything. And that's what people tend to do, and I don't want to do that. I want to give him credit for what he's done wrong, because only... He's done right.
Yes.
Because only by doing that can you have any justification for your criticism. If all you do is criticise, and you criticise for what's not his fault, there's no validity to your criticism of his mistakes. And let's be honest, he's made some. But he's making less.
Yes.
He is making less. And the team's playing better. Let's just hope that the trajectory continues and we can get back up to 7th, 8th, and 9th next season.
George, on that point, I know that there's a very good friend of my blog who's whenever he hears you giving any, whenever he hears you giving any praise of Arteta, he's like, is George saying Arteta? He's somewhat incensed. But we have, in our podcast, given Arteta credit. You said in your blog, in your headline when you put a recording on your blog, finally some positive football. I said in the headline for my podcast that the dead would shine, and also Arteta, because he set them up to play, and I don't think there was anything wrong with the setup for yesterday's game. Like you, I couldn't predict the team, but given that he has a game coming on Thursday, I don't see a thing wrong with the 11 he started with. I don't know about you.
No, absolutely. You look at it. He set the team up to make chances. That's all he can do. He can't run on and tap the ball in when looking Aubameyang and Saka and Pepe are missing. He can't say, "Fuck it, I'll play myself." He's stuck on the sideline watching them miss open goals, basically.
Right.
And you're not going to blame him for that. I thought he did all right. I thought he's done all right the last few weeks.
Right. You can't deny that. I mean, the points are there since Christmas.
Even though we've only won 2 out of the last 7 games.
Oh well, Anyway,
let's not get carried away.
Yeah, we should not. George. So George, as a final note, because we're trying not to make this too long these days. We're putting all our eggs in the Europa League basket, George. We're playing Olympiacos on Thursday. I don't know, George. Your thoughts on this?
It's a dangerous game, isn't it?
Yeah.
We get dumped out of that, we're in the shit. But what's the plan? to try and win that and do what? Play in the Champions League. We're miles away from being ready for the Champions League. Fucking hell, we'll get ripped to shreds in the Champions League. And things say, but it'll affect our prospects of signing good players. Agents aren't stupid. Players are not stupid. They don't look at the prospect of coming to Arsenal and say, they finished 13th, but I'll ignore that because they're in the Champions League for a year. Yeah. No, they're going to look at the league position. How likely are they to be in the Champions League next season and the season after? And at the moment, they're very, very unlikely to be in the Champions League. Yeah, you need a miracle of winning the Europa League to play Champions League football. So that's not going to attract top-class players. That one season in the Champions League because you won the Europa League and that's the Brucey bonus prize that you get for winning it. You know, that's a pat on the back you get. That's how you get people to turn on the TV and watch the Europa League, which is basically a third-rate competition that nobody would watch if the prize wasn't winning it gets you in the Champions League.
Which is the reason why UEFA made that prize, because it was sliding into irrelevancy.
Absolutely, and but it's worked.
Yes, it has.
It's now quite a big competition because you can get one place in the Champions League. But agents and players are not going to see that as sustainable. They're going to look at your league position and what players you already have at the club and weigh up how likely they are to be in the Champions League every year, not just this one year. You know, you go to Manchester City or Manchester United or even Chelsea, you have a good chance of being in the Champions League every season. You look at Arsenal, and your only chance is if they win the Europa League. No, they're not choosing us because we're in the Champions League for a year.
But that is very troubling and very, 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 very disturbing, George. And makes pessimistic, listening to, because we are going to lose Lacazette this season or next. He when his contract terminates, and now we don't even start him. We bring him on from the bench. Odegaard is going back to Real Madrid. I'm not sure we're gonna sign on Ceballos. Willian, sprightly as he looked yesterday, I think he faded in the second half a bit because of his age. David Lewis is on a 1-year contract. There's a lot to be worried about, George. If you were
Aubameyang will be 32, 33.
Him too. I just didn't call him because he has 2 more years left in his contract. But true. I mean, he's not the same Aubameyang. I still think he's lost a step. Lethal.
What we've got to hope is that all the youth players turn into top-class players.
Really?
You know,
ESR is injury prone, George. I mean,
what's the chance of that? I've said it before. What's the chance that Martinelli was going to be world class 12 months ago. Fucking hell, he can't get off the bench.
That's right. He
can't get a game in the Europa League. So I think we can forget about him becoming world class. Sadly, unless somebody's going to trip over every time he gets the ball, like Kante did.
Yes.
He's struggled to score, especially if he can't get a game.
Yes.
Saka looks a great prospect. Let's be fair. He's got a great chance. Emile Smith-Rowe could go one way or the other. He's got a bad injury record.
And even
I'm not sure. Let's be honest. We're not looking at Cesc Fabregas here.
That's my point. Yes, George.
He's not that class, and so the chances of him developing into that class are remote. So we're even although we have some decent youth players, I can't see more than 2 of them at best being what you would call top class Premier League players.
Anyway.
So where are they coming from? The people like, say, David Luiz, He's our best defender.
Yes, he was quite.
You know, and his contract's out at this year, and he's what, 34? He's not going to go on forever. And when you're saying David Luiz is your best defender, you might have a bit of a problem.
Of course, because he's likely to have a ricket every now and then, George. You know,
like Xhaka.
Yeah.
You know, so behind him you've got Mari. Now I'm quite impressed by Mari, I must say.
Yes.
But where's Gabriel gone?
George, how has he descended? He was the player, the defender du jour that we needed for years, and now he's just descending in the pecking order.
Yeah, he was the proof that Mikel Arteta bought good players, that he invested wisely.
And that Wenger was timid. Wenger was timid.
Yeah, that £30 million that he spent on him and the 50-odd million that he spent on Partey was proof that when he got his players, we were going to improve. And now he can't get in the fucking team.
That worries me, George.
And Partey, he's decent, but he's 28. Is he going to get any better? Well, from what I've seen, he's not world class. So I don't know where all these top players are going to come from. We're certainly not buying them, and they're not going to come here either.
So our concern, and just leave it at that, George, our concern is that this squad is not a Champions League squad, and we're not sure that next year it will be able to do much better than it's currently doing. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it could do marginally better, but it'll be nowhere near qualifying for the Champions League because the players are getting the good players are getting older or getting shipped out of the club,
and the ones and the loaners are not going to be signed up.
To be fair, I thought Sabalas did quite well yesterday when he came on. I'm not completely against signing him. I don't know how much Real Madrid will want for him, but I think he's a good squad player. Odegaard, well, he's not really impressed. So do you want him? And if he does impress, you won't get him because he'll go back to Real Madrid. So we're either going to get somebody who's failed to be what we hoped he was, or we're going to get somebody that wasn't what we hoped he was.
George.
They're both bad options, really. So there you go. The future doesn't look that bright to me. And if people think all of a sudden everybody's going to improve because Mikel Arteta's a genius, where is this genius? Because we ain't seen him up to now.
Good coach, but not a genius. George, I think at the end of the day, we are in mid-table for a reason, and it's going to be a struggle out. There is a reason why we're currently in mid-table. And I think if we deny this, I know there are many people who deny this. Good people who used to come on board to positively Arsenal and uncensored Arsenal and say how, we believe in free-flowing attacking football. But they are into pragmatism. And pragmatism right now is why we are in mid-table, guys. And I'm not sure we have a strategy to take us out. I may be wrong. I've been wrong on a lot of things, guys. I'm not going to say, boy, I know everything. But I like you, George, I struggle to see it. You have the last word.
Well, at this moment in time, I think we're a top 6 outfit.
I said this before. Anyway, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead, George.
And I don't think Arteta is yet a top 6 manager. But he could become a top 6 manager. He's improving. So we would have a chance if the squad wasn't deteriorating. But it is deteriorating. The age things will come in. And like I say, we put so much hope in our youth players. and the chances of them all coming through are remote. It's never happened before. Why would it happen next year?